Hey everybody, this is Kevin Gilmore with the National Weather Service New Orleans Baton Rouge office located in Slidell, Louisiana. We're going to do a quick video update about the chance for some locally strong to potentially severe storms on Monday and some heavy rainfall that's going to be coming around the corner. And we're going to kind of talk about what we've been seeing today too, as far as maybe some high winds across the area with the wind advisory in effect, and talk about some additional hazards as well. And then we'll look a little bit further out into the rest of the week coming up. So let's go ahead and get started with what's going on today. As we do this video, valid through the rest of this week with the current forecast and current thoughts about the potential for a few strong storms. We're first going to start with what's going right outside the window here, which is some showers and even a few thunderstorms too embedded in from what you've been seeing. Strong return flow off the Gulf has kind of helped to fuel up some of these showers and a couple of isolated thunderstorms. So you may have seen some rain in your location. If you haven't, maybe you will a little bit later. So this rain should be coming to an end a little bit later this evening. So again, this isn't going to be an all-day washout or anything like that. Otherwise, it's a little bit breezy outside. If you may have noticed, it's we got some wind gusts around 20, 25 to even 30 miles per hour across the area. And because of that, we do have a wind advisory in effect for the entire area of southeast Louisiana and southern Mississippi. This is in effect from 9 a.m. earlier this morning through 8 p.m. this evening, where we will see winds taper off some well after sunset later this evening. So to kind of show a little bit of perspective of what we've been seeing across the area, these are some of the wind gusts we've seen across southeast Louisiana and southern Mississippi, averaging around 15 to 25. You see Gulfport there up to 32, so pretty windy, especially if you're near the water. Also, a small craft advisory is in effect as well for marine areas. That includes all lakes and coastal marine zones that we cover. That is in effect as well. So exercise caution if you're across marine areas, coastal areas. This is going to be a little bit windy, but the good news is we'll see some of this wind taper off as we go through later on to tonight. So back to the slideshow here to talk about that wind advisory. We do also have a coastal flood advisory in effect for portions of coastal Mississippi. That also includes the north shore of Lake Pontchartrain and surrounding areas as well, the Wrigley's getting down to Lake Bourne and Lake Maurepas. This is pretty much in effect right now, where we're seeing some of the high tides occurring this afternoon. And so we'll have the potential for some minor inundation across areas, especially areas that typically see nuisance flooding from higher than normal tides. But those waters will be backing down as we get towards later this evening, with the advisory in effect through 7 p.m. So here's the latest with this afternoon. This is the newest update from the Storm Prediction Center today, with the risk for some severe storms. Now, be advised here, be aware that these outlooks cover a large span of time, upwards of 24 hours, from 7 a.m. Sunday morning, that was today, through 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. So at the end of this outlook is what this is really in effect for, is what we're seeing the potential for some storms to enter our western areas really early Monday morning. We're talking about potentially even around sunrise, maybe just after, for far western areas, from a line of strong, possibly severe storms advancing east across the area. So that's a slight risk. That's a threat level 2 out of 5, and that does include very close to Baton Rouge. Don't want to pay too much attention to that cutoff line, but I would say that does include the Baton Rouge area, where some storms will be entering again from active weather we'll be seeing overnight towards our west. That's Lake Charles and Shreveport, advancing through our area. Now, as we get past that 7 a.m. Monday time frame, going through 7 a.m. Tuesday, so this is mostly just during the morning and through the daytime hours, the threat is not slight, but it's marginal. We don't get tied up too much on that, because the main takeaway here is that there could be some strong storms, maybe severe weather as well. We're not looking at a substantial risk of severe weather, but there is the potential for some gusty winds or maybe a spin-up tornado or two. We're going to keep a very close look at that as we get a little bit closer. We'll be looking at the latest model guidance as we go through this evening and overnight as we watch that unfold. Also, there is a slight risk of flash flooding as well. That's a threat level 2 out of 4. So this line, as it comes across the area early tomorrow morning, early Monday morning, through the daytime hours, will not really be going that fast. It could actually hang up and train over the same areas, and very intense rain rates may lead to localized areas of flash flooding, especially the areas that you see highlighted in yellow, primarily, again, Monday morning through Monday afternoon. So the threat timing, this is a graphic that was updated today too using some of the latest model guidance, is that we'll be seeing what might be more or less a disorganized line of showers and thunderstorms approaching from the west. Some will be strong, possibly severe, beginning around that daybreak time frame for the western areas, and then advancing slowly to the east through the rest of the morning into the afternoon, and possibly coming to an end around the evening, where some of the guidance has been showing that a lot of this intensity may be coming to an end or kind of just washing out as it continues off to the southeast. So the threat may be diminished as we continue across the coastal areas of southeast Mississippi and southeast Louisiana. And we have a little bit info there too, saying the confidence of forward speed and progression is low, because we're going to have to really see how things materialize off to the west later today. So we're going to take a little bit of some time here to talk about model guidance and how we can break it down with a forecast, showing you the challenge that we have with this type of system using two different types of model guidance that we use to help produce the forecast. And this is simulated radar reflectivity from this model guidance that predicts what the radar will look like in the future. So this right here was one model to the left, one model to the right, that's predicting what the radar will look like at 12 a.m. midnight tonight. You notice that there's two different solutions. One has thunderstorms over southeast Texas and one does not. Really, what's going to happen from that? That's for us to decide and interpret the models to determine which guidance seems more reliable. But just be aware that if storms are not forming, so this is going to be us having to analyze this tonight and watch for if the storms are even forming over southeast Texas or not, will determine what will happen downstream into our local area, southeast Louisiana. Because as we go forward, we see what happens here. If we get those storms to form over southeast Texas, like the model on the right showed, we'll line up into a broken line of strong to potentially severe thunderstorms right at our doorstep 6 a.m. Monday. If they don't develop, the line could be lagging in time slowly more back to the west and maybe more slow to evolve as it approaches the area, because as we get towards noon on Monday, you see the timing differences in some of these models. Timing and intensity. It's, again, very low confidence right now because there's a wide range of solutions. Everything really is tying into the development of or coverage of storms over southeast Texas, and how widespread and how strong or severe those might be will determine how strong and severe the storms will be in our area and the timing for that thereafter. So we're going to have to keep a very close eye on that. Just be aware that this is going to require some more frequent updates as we go in through the evening and overnight hours, and especially early tomorrow to see how this resolves. Again, not a substantial risk of severe weather. Mostly what we're seeing are strong storms, but we can't rule out the potential for a severe storm with damaging winds and an isolated tornado possible. And thereafter, as we get to the afternoon, this stuff pushes off to the east, pushes off to the marine areas. And most of this should be coming to an end, but we can't rule out some showers and potentially even some redeveloping thunderstorms towards the later parts. But chances are, once this passes, it'll be primarily a more dry day. Always have multiple ways to get warnings in case we do issue warnings. Have those multiple ways to get them. Wireless emergency alerts will alert you if you get a tornado warning or a high-end severe thunderstorm warning or a flash flood warning. No weather radios, very reliable as well. And also just spread the word to your families and friends and make sure that they're prepared as well, especially if you have any plans going out during the day tomorrow. If your friends and family are going out and about, just let them know. Be weather aware. We do have a lot of heavy rain coming in tomorrow, so travel may be a little bit dangerous. So as we promised before, I wanted to also show the forecast as we go ahead to the rest of the week. Hit or miss showers and storms on Tuesday, but the chances do back down on Wednesday and even on Thursday. But even beyond this, we looked ahead to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We may get back into that hit or miss shower and storm chance. But temperatures will remain in the mid to upper 80s, going all the way through the rest of the week and even going into the upcoming weekend. So after we pass this heavy rain that we're expecting on Monday, we'll see mostly conditions and the chances for rain back down, especially on Tuesday and very much so on Wednesday and on Thursday. They may come back up a little bit on Friday with temperatures remaining very warm. So that's all I got for this video briefing. We'll be sure to keep you updated with the latest, and we'll catch you back next time. Thanks.